The king never imagined that the massive sword, which required his full strength just to lift, could be swung effortlessly with one hand by a single man. Everyone in the hall was stunned. The blade was incredibly heavy and sturdy, ordinary people could hardly lift it, let alone swing it. But Nora had no idea this was a legendary weapon. Even more absurd, when he noticed the sword was about as wide as the drainage ditch at his grandmother's house, he thought about using it to clean the gutter. If the king ever found out, he would regret everything. When Nora practiced with a wooden blade, he could deflect 100 wooden swords tied to a tree. To most adventurers, this was the lowest form of parrying, nothing special at all. But Nora had practiced that move for 14 years. He believed that if he could master it completely, he could deflect not just 100, but 1,000 wooden swords with ease. That was Nora's philosophy. Even the simplest skill, when pushed to the absolute limit, could become the strongest power in the world. Without knowing it, he used this single move to defeat a minotaur, one of the most feared monsters among adventurers. The townsfolk thought Nora would soon be popular with girls and live a good life. But Noru didn't see it that way. He remembered how much effort it had taken him just to fight a regular cow in the village. To him, his so-called opponent wasn't even a monster, just a beast of burden, and even that nearly overwhelmed him. The reason for his doubt was cruel. Noru had been officially judged as talentless in every possible field. As a child, influenced by his father, Noru dreamed of becoming an adventurer. But reality was harsh. His talents were the lowest of the low. He wanted to be a swordsman, but while others awakened new skills within days, Noru trained for 3 months and learned only the most basic parry technique. Labeled as talentless, he was expelled. Undeterred, Noru tried the warrior's path. He trained harder than anyone, but after months of effort, his body had only improved slightly. If he kept going, he would die on the battlefield. He was cast out again. Noru didn't give up. He tried other professions, but every time he only managed to learn the weakest, most basic skills. In magic, all he could do was conjure a faint spark of fire. His teachers had never seen anyone so lacking in ability. Most people would have quit, but Noru clung to his dream. His sword instructor had once told him that if you trained a single skill relentlessly, it might evolve into something greater. So Noru devoted himself entirely to parrying. Day after day, year after year, he never stopped. 14 years later, he perfected the technique. He could now deflect 1,000 wooden swords at once. Even so, Noru wasn't satisfied. He still hadn't awakened any new skills. But before giving up completely, he decided to try once more. He returned to the Adventurers Guild. The receptionist struggled with what to tell him. Noru knew many skills, but none of them met the official standard. He couldn't qualify as an adventurer. Just when Noru was about to give up, an older man explained the system to him. Adventurers were ranked from S at the top to E at the bottom. To qualify as E rank, you needed at least one practical skill. Noru still didn't meet the requirement. But there was another way. Beneath E rank existed a nearly forgotten level, F rank. Few even knew it existed, since F rank adventurers could only take on odd jobs in town, the kind of work usually reserved for beggars. The man doubted Noru would stoop so low, but Noru didn't hesitate. This was his dream. He accepted the F rank license. From then on, Noru worked simple chores using the basic skills he had mastered. It was tedious, but he was content. By day, he labored. By night, he trained. He thought his life would go on like that forever, until one fateful delivery job changed everything. While settling payment with his employer, Noru heard a cry for help. He ran toward the sound and found a massive minotaur. Soldiers were trying to protect a trapped princess. They had set up formations, but it was hopeless. The monster swatted them aside, sending armored men flying like dolls. In minutes, the soldiers were dead. The princess was defenseless. Noru rushed in.